should I wait to live with my boyfriend or girlfriend?
The mindset that I know a lot of Christians have is we getting married anyways. We about to be married anyways. He's about to be my husband anyways.
This is an Iwegbu production.
Period.
So I was doing a bit of research and I came across this subject that is commonly asked within relationships for those that are, single and they're not married yet. And it was, should I wait to live with my boyfriend or girlfriend? And I was like, oh man, this could get a little controversial. Okay, because so many people do this. They feel like, man, I got to see if I can live with her first. I got to see if I can live with him first. I got to, see how they are on a day-to-day basis. Let me kind of test the waters and do this type of thing, babe. So I'm gonna swing it your way first, and then we're gonna swing back. But what do you think about that? With those, should they wait until marriage to live with each other? Should we just, because a lot of believers. So those who are new to us, we're believers, okay? All right. So, and we know that we're against fornication, even though it has happened with us, but we want to make sure that others just don't fall into those things because we know the consequences and things of that sort.
Yeah.
So I just don't know, like, many people are doing this and they feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
What you think?
Yeah. So, this is coming from a couple that did live together before we got married. So it's not coming from a corny whack, didn't do nothing or lie, because people be lying about a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I'm like, why? Yeah, we don't, everybody, but so you can, I just want to say you can trust that our opinion is going to be two things. We're going to do our best to be biblically based, and we're going to do our best. We're not going to do our best. We are just going to be as real as possible because it's just who we are.
For sure.
Sometimes overly transparent. Yeah. But we lived with each other. We got pregnant the first time we were intimate. And to be honest, y'all, my mindset was very much so, you got me pregnant, sir. I am not about to be a 21-year-old pregnant in my, at that time, I would have had to be in my daddy's basement. I'm not doing it. You did this. You need to take care of me. That was really the mindset. And although I knew that this is something that we shouldn't do, because that means intimacy is going to be one of those things that we will always be. It wasn't like we weren't sexually attracted to one another. And this just happened. Like, that was crazy. Right. And so you have to be real about that part. But as I, talk to more couples that do live with one another before getting married, I do think that there are some benefits to living with one another. I think that, number one, there are some things that some women have been able to see that they would have not seen if they did not be there all night, all day, right? And they might have gotten married to a dog if they wasn't. I do think that there is some type of benefit that you can really see somebody's mess, right? You can really get in somebody's mix. You can really be in their everyday life. You can see when, his boss didn't treat him right and how he comes home. You can really be able to see some stuff that can give you some realistic expectations for marriage, right? On the same side, you can just see all of their seasons of what they go through, because a lot of times when you are just going on dates, people are most likely going to show up as their best self. People are most likely going to have that representative in front of you as long as they can, but you can't do that day in, day, night, morning time, evening time, afternoon, coming home from work, in the middle of the night, all of those things. So I do get it. I get why. Also, on the financial tip, if you find yourself at that person's house all the time, you're barely at home, you finding bags, packing it, you get to a place where you're like, you know what, shoot, we can split this rent, because that's a lot of times why y'all doing it. If we can really be honest. We are living together because we want to go half on these bills. And the mindset that I know a lot of Christians have is we getting married anyways. We about to be married anyways. He's about to be my husband anyways, right? So you have that mindset this about to be my husband. You have the mindset of, I'm getting to really see if this is something that I want. You are able to split the bills, right? So we can see that there could be so many beneficial benefits to living together before you get married. But we got to be also incredibly real with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The main thing that pops up to me when it comes to living together is that y'all know good and darn well y'all gonna be body to body, skin to skin. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. I don't care what y'all tell us. We will never believe you if you live in the same house and you tell us you're not doing it. I don't care. We don't believe it. Even if you tell the truth, we'll never believe it. And if you ain't doing it, you might not be attracted to that person. If you laying in that bed every single night with that man that you about to marry, and first of all, men be having FNBs.
What's that?
Is that what it's called?
Come on, babe. They don't know nothing about that stuff. Oh,
so there are things that pop up
boners.
For nothing boners that pop up in the middle of the night.
For nothing when you single.
Well, if you wake up in the morning, sometimes y'all just have that. So you have these for nothing boners. We just got to be real. So the reason why I talk about that side is that for a lot of times, even if you do see things that you don't like, if y'all are intimate, y'all know what we talk about. You're going to be clouded in your judgment. A lot of times I can hear the confusion in women because they're intimate. I hear it. One week, you know he's not your husband. The next week, he is the father of your children, the husband, and a great leader. The next minute, you can't stand him and you trying to find a way to move out. The next week, you like, I think we're really going to go through with premarital counseling. The next week, he done pissed you off and y'all back to y'all toxic ways. The next week, y'all trying to figure out how to get your marriage license. And that's because of sin. Yeah. God is not the author of confusion. He is of peace. He is of understanding. It's going to be clarity, but it's not going to be clarity if you're fogged, if you are fogging your mindset. So that is the biggest downs. I don't care how intelligent women, we've been doing this, y'all. Like when I say this, we've been doing this. We've been talking to people. We coach people. There's not a single person that is not blinded by sex. I don't care how strong you think you are. There is a layer of fog on you that you don't even know you got. You don't even know. You can literally look us dead in our face and be like, oh no, I know you think it's fogging me, but it's not. I promise. I know that. And you'll either find out on the other side if you end up getting married to somebody you're not supposed to get married to and now you're divorced. Or you find out on the side when you get married and you see a bunch of stuff that you didn't allow yourself to see because you were foggy. And now you got a bunch of war going on. So my answer is, I think you're doing yourself a disservice by moving in with one another. Unless you, I don't think it's intelligent. I think that you should walk your dating season and then why is, because I never would have, well, okay, let me not say that. I just don't know why that's so normal though. Like just moving in with just your boyfriend. Yeah. Why? And then you move out if y'all don't work out, and you keep moving in with boyfriend after you.
Or now when you got the lease, now you're thinking about it, you like, dang it, man, we just signed this lease. I'm talking about people get houses together.
People buy houses.
Like real houses. You'd be like, what? Hold on, whoa, what's going on?
And if that Negro is willing to buy a house with you but not marry you, you need to run anyways.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. So I wanted to bring in a stat here, and this is with my research through Google. It says, according to a 2023 study by psychologists at Galeni Rhodes and Scott Stanley, whatever those are, 34% of couples who live together before getting engaged divorced. 34%. Compared to 23% of couples who waited until after engagement or marriage to move in together. Okay. This suggests that living together before engagement may increase the likelihood of divorce by 11%. Studies also found that 25% of couples who cohabitated before marrying between 2010 and 2019 divorced, compared to 20% of those who did not. So the stats speak for itself. Whether it's a small gap or a big gap, it's a gap. And it's saying that you have more favor, okay, even statistically, upon your marriage if you were not to live together. And like she said, when we unfortunately did that, it was first off, just living with the conviction. If you really love the Lord, it's tough. It was tough for me because I was like, dang, man, you know, I'm not about to leave her in this cold basement, but dang, I'm disobeying God and still un- I should have left her there at the cold basement. Okay, God would have made a way, and He had different doors that He had opened that could have happened. Like one of my guys came to me at one point, and crazy thing, he's not even with the Lord like that no more. But he had came to me, he's like, "Nah, you come live with me," and I was like,
he was like, "Don't do
but
it."
he had a big man. He had a big dog, man. I don't mess with dogs like that. He had a big dog, and I'm like, man, I would.
But
I'm not doing that. But the crazy thing is, unfortunately, months later, he had a D word.
Yeah.
He actually ended up going through the divorce. And so I would have been in the midst of, I don't know what was going on in their household at that time.
So wait, you would have just paid rent at the apartment that I would have stayed at?
Yeah, you would have stayed there, and
that would have been cool.
I would have been living with him, but it was, I thought about that dog. I thought about his basement, and I was just like, bro, I don't know about that, whatever. And so, and then unfortunately, he ended up, going through divorce after that.
And that's one of the typical things is that you have to take. Because I just thought about like a few people how it's gonna look better to do it the wrong way, because a lot of times some people act like there's no choice but to live with this person. Like, I don't got nowhere to go.
Yeah,
you do. It just might be on somebody's couch, and that's what you don't want to do.
Yep. Like if y'all living together and somebody's like, man, listen, I want y'all to do it right. Yeah. You can come stay in my extra bedroom. Like it says in a word, and I'm paraphrasing here, that when there's temptation, there is a way out.
Always.
Listen, the reason why we speak on how we speak on things is because many of y'all have been given a way out when sin was presented. But a lot of times we still go through that door because we thinking about that temporary pleasure that's going to be there, man.
Yeah.
And in my case, it wasn't necessarily the pleasure of it. It just was, I didn't want to be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Either way, whether he went through a divorce or not, anything would have been better than sinning against God.
Well, we could have got married in that time.
We could have. That's another thing. I'm gonna get to that here in just a moment.
Yeah.
But there also, I was thinking about this because I know of couples who have done this. It was one couple in particular I was thinking about, and they were living together, and I just got to asking them some series of questions just about their upbringing, right? And what it was, his mom and dad had been together for a long time, married for probably like 30 some odd years. Her mom and dad have been together for a long time, married for some 20 some years. Now, I still didn't agree with them living together, but I said, y'all about to be, I know y'all about to be a little bit more of the exception. There's some things that y'all are not going to get because y'all already doing this thing like married couple, but y'all about to be the exception. The reason being is that y'all coming from very stable foundations, stable households, and coming together. Y'all seen how it works. Y'all seen two people do this thing and it actually work itself out. You know how to treat a woman because you seen a man. I knew who his daddy was and how he led. And I didn't know about her mom and her father, but just listening, I'm like, and how she is with him, I'm like, you don't got daddy issues.
Yeah.
You know how to treat a man. So I was like, yeah, I can see how this thing is working out just fine, because they had already been living together probably for over a year by this time or whatever. I'm like, okay, I can see how this is kind of been an exception, but I still won't leave the excuse that that's the right thing, because here's one of the biggest things. Well, one thing that one of my mentors said before, he said, you can't rewrap a present that's already been unwrapped. Like, so it's like we're celebrating, like we about to hit this honeymoon, boy. You about to get it in tonight, Negro. You already been getting it in
every night.
It's about to go down, boy. Y'all better have
been going down.
Like, so you've already unwrapped that present. It's not. I mean, you can try to make it like it's about to. Don't get it wrong. After a while, it will be different because we saw that. But we can't lie and make it like the honeymoon night of intimacy was
super
different. Like it was like, oh, like because we had we had some time in between there. Like
Yeah.
we had to make sure that we stopped so we can, you know,
Refresh.
refresh.
Yeah.
We struggled all the way up till then. That's one of the dumbest things to do.
We
But
should have just moved out.
we should have. But I'm telling y'all, man, and we just keeping it 1,000 with y'all. We probably telling y'all what most people just will not tell y'all as believers, man. But we couldn't I couldn't unwrap. I had already unwrapped it. I had already seen it. You know, we had done some things, some other levels of things that we done now, but we had already done some things. Why are you?
Because I'm just watching you.
She like, let me stop.
Let me go.
Let me go. Let me make sure that you don't say too much. Because I'll be going, y'all. Y'all pray for me. I don't want to say nothing too crazy, baby. Please help me. Please help me. But yeah, man, like you can't unwrap that, man. You're killed. Like what you're doing when you're living with that woman ahead of marriage, when you're making, you know, you're having sex with her ahead of marriage, man, you're killing your honeymoon. You're killing your first 2 years of marriage that should just be like fireworks and just, oh man, hey, you on break? Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, here you come, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Like just that puppy love that you could kind of have. The euphoria, you're gonna need a lot of that, especially in the first 2 years, because regardless, you guys are merging two different backgrounds is coming together. So you're gonna have a little bit of issues anyway. But when you've already done that, it's gonna be a whole nother level. So I just say that to say you can't rewrap that present and unwrap it again. And this is one of the great things that we've done by just even telling our story. And just I think by having our podcast is we've seen people now who said, forget it. They get engaged and they know that they about to, you know, living together with her. They forget it, man. We about to go ahead and get married now and have the ceremony later. How about do that? Yeah. Somebody who's watching this, you came across this, you don't know us from nowhere. Somehow you just got on this page, man. I encourage you, man. Like, first off, I feel like these weddings, I think people are catching on that they're a little overrated. Mm-hmm. They're way overrated. Because you can kick it the hardest. Your frat coming through, y'all strolling. Y'all kick it in. The ladies are ski. Hey, it's going down. Shoot, it's going down. Hey, but afterwards, you got a real marriage to get to. Party over, homie. On that first argument, party over. It just got real. For life. For life. I feel like is that movie Sandlot?
I knew I wouldn't know. Whenever
you like Sandlot, y'all know, is that the name of the movie?
Namdi
baseball movie with the big old dog behind the fence.
Whenever Namdi quotes something, I'm lost all the time.
Forever. Y'all tell me in the chat if y'all know that.
Every movie, every song.
He said forever. It's going down. Y'all done kicked it, but y'all done spent $50,000 on this wedding. You know what I'm saying?
I disagree with that. I think it's
cool.
Number one, because it's for a woman most of the time. So no, I don't think that you should just do away with a big wedding. I think if you want a big wedding, do it. Because I still want it.
No, I think it's good. No, baby. I think it's good. But what I'm saying is, go ahead and if y'all gonna stay together, then go ahead, get the marriage license.
It being overrated.
I think sometimes I believe it is, especially if I don't know, just
it's okay. I ain't gonna
go there. I think that sometimes it can be, especially if y'all been together for like y'all already kind of been low key married.
Yeah.
In a way, the way you live it, it's not that much to put into it like that. But again, yes, ladies, special day. Let me not tick off a bunch of ladies.
Baby, it is. Stand on your ground.
It is what it is. I just think just spending all that money we've been getting in there. We've been doing our thing any daggone way.
Yeah.
What are we doing? We just had a big dinner.
Mm-hmm.
A big dinner where we fed a bunch of people. And they don't give a damn. They just having the cup. They come and just have a good time. So that's a whole another thing. But what was you kind of threw me off with that. But yeah, go ahead and get married now. Get your certificate. Get a pastor. You know, have the ceremony a year later. Yeah. We got some friends who decided to do that, and we're like, that's dope. That is dope. They said we love God so much that we're not putting that ceremony above him. We're saying, no, Lord, we want to be obedient to you. We want favor over our marriage. Yeah. We want it so bad that we're gonna go ahead and actually legally get married, and we'll do the ceremony later.
Yeah.
And man, salute to all of those people who are doing that. Because that's a big move that unfortunately we didn't even have the heart to do. We got married really quickly after,
Yeah, we got
after
married
we got
very
engaged.
fast.
Yeah, like we
And
got
I didn't
engaged in
even,
like April. We got married in September.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even think about doing that. It wasn't even, we didn't even talk about it. Like it wasn't even an option in my mind.
What's that?
To get married at the courthouse or like go get a certificate and do
I don't know why
like
we
that.
didn't think about it.
I don't know why we didn't do it either, because we probably would have.
Yeah, we definitely would have.
That was something we definitely, because we knew we were getting married. But yeah, it was. Can I add something to this?
Go ahead, baby. We good.
So I also want to say, as far as wives, when it comes to women, y'all living with your boyfriend before y'all get married, the thing that just popped up in my spirit that while you were talking was that, like, don't let the devil rob you from actually being a wife.
Mm-hmm.
And so many women don't even know that they have like 5 divorces under their belt and they have never been a wife. They have never actually gotten married, but in the spirit you have. Spiritually, because of sex, because of the intimacy, you have soul ties, and those soul ties have made you one. And then you live with one another, and you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing all the things that you would have done as a wife. And I feel like, again, living together prior to marriage is a counterfeit version of actual marriage. Instead of having the favor that comes with it, instead of having the grace that comes with it, you're living in the counterfeit version, and there's no protection in that. There's no protection of just absolutely walking in disobedience and being in sin. But don't let a man, and don't let yourself fool yourself to think that, oh, this is just that. You are robbing yourself of actually having a standard with a man that says, no, I'm so sorry, we cannot do that. I'm gonna keep paying these bills. God's gonna make a way. If you want to get married, then we can work toward that. Keep that standard. And a lot of times y'all don't even know that's what make the men move faster, is when you actually put the standard on him and say, I'm not just about to lay around with you all day. What are you going to do? You know what? I might have to live on my auntie's couch. I ain't staying here with you no more and let you toss my booty up in the air every night. And you ain't got no legal right to me. You could break up with me today and you still gonna be on the street. Or you still gonna have to pay those bills. If it's your house, you still back to paying those bills 100% by yourself. Now you got a divorce spiritually in your spirit, and you don't. And now you're wondering why you have so much anger and resentment toward men, honey, because you've been a wife to like 6 Negroes.
You gave it away,
and you wasn't supposed to. You was never supposed to do that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, that's it. I just want to say, don't let the counterfeit version of just feeling good, like, oh, I get to wake up to my man. He is not your man until he is your husband. Yeah. That's just what it is. He can leave. And I know. Okay, so yeah, that's that.
Yeah, and I feel for, especially for the women, because they'll live with somebody and they'll just give everything. I mean, like you said, the cooking, the cleaning, they'll do all the married intimacy things that you would leave for that. They'll do all of that for a man who will still leave them hanging like what's them dudes, what's that, Love Is Blind, what's their name again? I can't remember. I can't remember his name. Clay left, what's her name?
AD.
Like how Clay left AD at that altar, feeling like she was a sacrifice.
And she was bragging too,
feeling like she was a sacrifice. I'm like, dang, man, what she must have did, how much she must have gave herself, and how many times she said that she had, I think, been with, just people that have broken her heart, and how many times. And it's like, man, because we can, for men, it's about a week or two, we on to the next, and we don't feel really a way about it. Women, y'all live with it. It's in there, man. And so I feel for y'all, man. And so somebody's in that situation, get out of there. I want to say this before we end this video, because this will be controversial, because most people probably disagree with us on this. All right. Most people probably disagree with us, especially being that we actually did it. We telling y'all, hey, from real talk, what happened with us, the consequences. But what we're not saying is your marriage is going to fail. We're not saying your marriage is going to fail. All right. We're not saying that God will not have favor on your marriage if you do this. Okay. So those are things I want to make sure that we're clear on. Let me tell you, what you're looking at right here, this is grace in action. How things were lined up. We say this before, like, I'm telling you, it's God's grace, and it's more than sufficient. He can do the impossible. He can work through things. I just want to make y'all very aware there are earthly consequences, though, from not sticking to what his word says, not treating your body like it's a temple and giving it away and all. Like there's going to be, he put those guidelines in place, those principles in place to keep your heart safe, because it's so deceitful. You think you know best, but he does, man. And it's in his word. And I tell you to get in there and live by it. Telling you.
Yeah.
So again, we're not saying you won't be blessed. We're not saying that your marriage. We're not saying those are stacking together, y'all going ahead. We're not saying all those things. We want to make that very simple and clear, man. But this is our stance on this. And I'm telling you right now, if you listen to these things right here and you take action on them, if you're someone in those situations, I believe that you'll be blessed in your marriage. This is an Iwegbu production.
Period.
Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content. Yes. Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Iwegbus. And look, we will see y'all on the next video.